What is up, everyone? On today's show, we've got quite a lot of stuff to talk about, including a new reward goal is needed for this Friday because the Burger King one fell through, or did it? Well, we're going to talk about that. Plus, we definitely need to decide on the next project for DSP Throwback. Also, my new streaming and capture PC is en route to my home and will arrive at some point today. This may or may not affect the schedule. Plus, we've got lots of game news. So, a ton of stuff to discuss on today's jam-packed, epic episode of the Level 1 Podcast.
Get ready for some meaningful content, because the king is back, the king of the live stream, the king is back. Woo! Because the king is back, the king of the live stream, the king is back. Oh!
Alrighty, guys. How's everyone doing today? It is Tuesday, the 26th of November, 2026. I'm 2026. Wow. We fast forwarded a couple years. 2024. I'm DSP. Welcome to the show. If you're wondering why the backdrop, why the coloring today? Well, we're playing Dragon Age Veilguard. Do I need to give any other reason to have this kind of coloring and border and everything? I mean, but in reality, actually, the coloring of Dragon Age Veilguard is like that. It's kind of like purple pink. That's what they were going for. So I figured, why not follow suit here on the show, right? All right. And so, ladies and gentlemen, today is going to be a jam-packed show. We've got Jasper Kitty in the office today. He's already rubbing my foot with his face. And I'm ready to talk a lot of topics. We have a lot to discuss today, so I'm glad that you guys are here. Will hopefully weigh in and help me to make some important decisions today, all right? So let's start with this and the goal. Let's talk. We're at 83 straight streams of hitting the goals and felting my trolls. My trolls are incredibly upset about it. They keep making shit up like, oh, Phil lied about this and that. They don't understand that it doesn't benefit me to lie at all. If I lied about hitting goals, no one would ever believe it and no one would ever contribute, right? So come on up, Jasper. I've never lied about the goal whatsoever. Sometimes we do get last minute contributions. Sometimes, we have the goal hit right away. It all depends on the day and what we're doing, right? But yeah, the goals continue. 83 straight streams of hitting the goal of $150 of support between all the different methods that people support my content, including super chats, super stickers, memberships, and gifted memberships on YouTube, subs and gifted subs on Kick, and tips, which anyone can do. Okay? So, why am I bringing this up today? Well, there's a good reason. Number one, today's Dragon Age Veilguard. And let's be honest, once I start playing the game, people are going to run for the hills because a lot of people don't like this game. Personally, I think the game is fine. I'm not in love with it. I don't hate it. I think it actually has great graphics on the PS5 Pro. I'm hoping that the story will pick up. At this point, we're over 10 hours in. Aren't we like 11, 12 hours in or something like that? So I am hoping that the game works well and that, we can keep it in the rotation. But if ever we have a stream where people are hating it and no one shows up and everyone's just like, blah, we could stop playing it. That's why, if you noticed, I haven't been playing it that much. I play it like once a week just to test the waters, all right? So, we're doing that today. And with that happening today, I'm already kind of expecting that we're not going to get a lot of support when the game starts. So, FYI, if you like the content, and particularly if you like my podcast, please support now during the show. And I'm just going to say this, over on the Kick side, it's actually been quite slow the last couple of days. Like, normally we do get a good amount of, like, gifted subs, and there's been very few in the last few days. So if you're watching on Kick and you like the stuff, please consider either becoming a sub of the channel and joining the Founders Club, or gifting some subs to your fellow viewer, okay? All right, now, the goal. As everyone knows, we had a really awesome goal set up for this week, okay? The goal was that Burger King literally just launched a couple days ago a brand new lineup of Whoppers. Here it is. Hold on. That's not it. Here it is. Okay? 3 different Whoppers for $1 million contest, where whatever Whopper ends up being the most popular of the 3 was going to actually, like, I guess, permanently be on the menu, or at least for a bit. And someone was going to win like $1 million or something like that. Okay? So I was like, oh, this is cool. We could try 3 different burgers. They all sound a little different. Mexican street corn versus maple bourbon barbecue versus fried pickle ranch, right? All sounds good. So just to be safe, I confirmed. Not only is this online, this was available at my local store and on delivery apps, all right? Now, FYI, just to make everything clear, Burger King, all right, is not close to me. It's all the way down this big-ass hill through a big area that's full of traffic. To drive there right now would take me around 15 to 20 minutes each way. Okay, now keep in mind, we're now in the holiday season. Traffic around here actually has been quite worse recently, okay? So that being said, I can't just drive to this Burger King, get the food, and come back. It would be like an hour break from my stream, which doesn't work when you're on a live stream, okay? So I have to order. And the problem is, I confirmed it was on the delivery app before I announced it as the reward. I captured the thing to prove that I'm not crazy, I'm not on drugs or something. It was there. So it was there for 1 effing day, okay? Last night, someone says to me, Phil, are you aware it's not there anymore? I said, what? And I went and looked, they removed it. This is exactly what happened with the Krabby Patty meal at Wendy's about 2 months ago when the streak started, where I announced the Krabby Patty reward. Everyone was excited for it, right? It was on the app. I had it. All the food looked like it was drawn in the world of SpongeBob SquarePants. It was cartoony and everything. And then they removed it from the app. You want to know the stupidest part about all this? If you go to the delivery apps and you search Burger King, their banner is these 3 Whoppers, but you can't order them on the app. They were removed. So they were lazy. They put it up, removed it within 1 day, but didn't change the banner. So they're basically false advertising. They're showing you can order these things on the app, and they're not on the app. So this pisses me off because obviously this is something that we already talked about and a lot of people were already excited for, right? So sadly, it looks like we can't do it. All right. Now, here's the thing. The same thing happened with the Krabby Patty meal. All right. And what happened was they added it back later, like weeks later, like no lie. They added it back like 2 to 3 weeks later. All of a sudden, it was available for another week or 2. It was back in the apps. So I don't know if this is an error that these companies are adding it to the app and realizing they didn't want to do that. Remove it first and then add it later. I don't know what their policy is, but their policy is ass backwards and stupid because it just confuses me. I can't plan out what I want to do for DSP Tries It when they keep adding and removing everything. Okay? So I have found what I feel is a suitable replacement. In reality, I think it's better than the Triple Whopper Challenge because it's not just a bunch of burgers, all right? There is new food items now at Wendy's. They just added 3 new items to their menu. And what I would like to do is taste them and test them and see how they are. And one of them, if you can believe it, are you ready for this? One of them ties to one of my earliest, most infamous episodes of DSP Tries It. Are you ready for this? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 3 new menu items at Wendy's, and I have confirmed they are in the app. All right, you can order them right now. I checked. You can order from delivery apps. They're there listed. All right, so here's the deal. The mushroom bacon cheeseburger, which is a cheeseburger that has mushrooms, bacon, a special kind of cheese, and a special sauce. The salted caramel frosty, which is basically their frosty with a salted caramel flavoring in it. And ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe I'm saying this. I really can't. because it's 2024. Things have absolutely come full circle for me. The taco salad. Do you remember the original taco salad that I tried way back when at Wendy's? Do you remember this? Maybe you don't. Maybe you've never seen the old DSP tries it. It was like, no exaggeration, it was like 2011 or 2010. It was way long ago. It was the earliest DSP tries. It's like the first 12 or something like that. And I think at that point they were actually calling it the Southwest salad or something like that. And it was incredibly similar to this, where it had the corn chips and the stings. And the difference was with that one, I think they gave you like a thing of chili to pour on it. And I don't think that this one has that. I'm not even sure though. Here, what's in it? Where? It doesn't say. I want to see the taco salad. How do I see it? It's, by the way, it is available for delivery. I confirmed it. Let me see if I can find it here. Get out of here. Here. Taco salad. Made fresh daily with romaine lettuce, shredded cheddar cheese, diced tomato, fire roasted corn, chili lime taco strips. Oh no, it has the chili. Oh no. Oh no. It has Wendy's chili. Oh no. I legit didn't know. It has the chili. Oh, it's basically exactly the same. It's the same salad. They brought it back. They didn't have this for the longest time, and now they've brought it back. Yeah. A fresh take on tacos, perfect for Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or any other day. Oh, so just so you guys know, all right, when I tried this over a decade ago, first of all, I said, oh, it doesn't taste that bad, but it's a little like, it doesn't taste fresh. It tastes like it's kind of like soggy. I got the worst case of the shits. I couldn't stop shitting for about 2 days. It was like nonstop liquid torture. It destroyed my guts. It was so bad. I was keeled over in pain. I was trying to record videos because back then I wasn't a streamer. I was doing on-demand videos. I'm just sitting there at the couch. I'm like, every 20 minutes I have to get up and go to the bathroom again. Like, oh my God. It absolutely crushed me. Seriously. Now, I mean, we are many years later. This is over a decade later. Because that was around, like I said, like 2010, 2011, something like that. So perhaps in the last 13 years, all right, perhaps they have updated their menu and it's better. Maybe now these ingredients will be fresher. Probably not. I can't imagine, right? So romaine lettuce sounds good. Shredded cheddar, diced tomato, fire roasted corn, chile lime taco strips, and our famous hearty chili and creamy salsa dressing. Why does it even need a dressing if you're going to pour chili in it? I don't even understand. I really don't. So what's going to happen if this is like the old one? All right. It's basically going to be a bowl with the salad, and they're going to give you the chili on the side, and you're going to pour the chili over the salad, and you eat it like that, which is fucking disgusting. This seriously, Wendy's chili, to me, is like so revolting. You know what it is? For those who don't know, Wendy's chili is all the leftover meat pieces that break off of the hamburgers when they're cooking them. They brush them to the side and they sit on the side of the grill, seeping in fat and grease all day. And then they gather them and put them into a side container. And then later they toss it inside of the chili when it's cooking. And that's what you're eating in the chili. That's the meat that's in the chili. It's the fucked up, broken off, overcooked, grease-filled pieces. I can't believe that people eat that shit. Yeah, I know. Everyone says Wings of Redemption loves Wendy's chili. That's the most disgusting thing I can imagine. I can't imagine anyone going there and ordering that. Oh, I'd like the chili, please. Oh, you mean all the shit that's, leftovers? That's disgusting, that we probably blow our nose in, fart on, and fucking hairs in it. And it fucking, big globulous things of fat, animal fat on the side of the grill. And we put it inside the seeping, tomato chili. That's what you want? Yeah, extra fat, grease, and hair, please. Oh, okay. Oh. Anyway, all right. So this, I mean, if that's not a better goal, I don't know what is. So yes, if we hit the goal this week, if that's not motivation to get you to support my streams this week, I don't know what is. We're going to be doing this new Wendy's menu of the mushroom bacon cheeseburger, the salted caramel frosty, and the taco salad this Friday on a special edition of DSP Tries It if we keep hitting the goals. We got today, tomorrow, the one stream on Thursday, and the first stream on Friday. That'll be 2, 4, 6 more. So we have to get 89. When we hit 89, it is time for me to dine. 89 DSP dines on disgusting taco salad. I can't believe they brought it back. I really can't believe that they brought that back, right? Oh, no, don't tell me. Oh, the Super DJC, listen to what he just said. The Super DJC says, the meat that's been sitting for too long, it dries out. They take that meat, they rehydrate it in water, drain the water, cut up the meat, and then mix it into the chili base. Oh. Oh. It's inhumane is what it is, to make someone eat that. It's absolutely inhumane. Why would you do it? Why would it exist? Oh. All right. So, folks, that is our new goal for Friday. In my opinion, that's actually better than what the original was. Now, here's the thing. Some people, just like with the Krabby Patty, some people might be upset and be like, he's not going to do it. Listen, I would love to do the Triple Whopper Challenge, but I can't drive for an hour to get it. It would destroy my streams. It would mess everything up. All right? Now, perhaps they will add those Whoppers back to the delivery apps within the next month. That's what they did with the Krabby Patty meal at Wendy's. If they do that, I will then get it. You understand? But I can't get what they don't have for delivery. If Burger King was right here, I could get it, but it's not. It's like way down the hill. So I can't go and get it and come back, and I'm sorry. I know some people will be upset, but hey, there you go. I hope that sounds interesting to you. Now, one second. Our first shout out of the day. Wow. A $16 tip from Samuel L. Jackboner. Well, thank you for the tip. It's a generous tip, $16. I don't know about your Jackboner. You could have maybe kept that to yourself, but thank you, Samuel L. Jackboner, for our first contribution of the day. Boners are back on the leaderboard, folks. All right, let's do it. What is going on here? My hand is not on the home row. Yeah, my hand was not on the home row keys there. Okay, thank you, Samuel L. Jack Boner, for a $16 tip to start today off. Let's get some momentum going. Let's get some YouTube side contributions, and let's get our first sub or gifted subs over on Kick as well. All right, let's get a little bit of variety. Let's spread it around. Let's get some people up on these leaderboards for the various different contribution methods. Okay? Yes, I read Kit comments. Why would you think I don't? Why always burgers? It's not always burgers, the unleanable one. We're looking for variety. And actually, in the last month or two, I've done the Japanese restaurant, right? I actually did a katsu burger, which wasn't really a burger. It was a katsu fried pork. Remember that? We did a good variety of stuff. Oh, the sandwich, the firehouse sandwiches we did, which was fun. The thing is, you got to look for what's new. And I can only do what's new. Wendy's has a new menu. Burger King has a new menu. You know, like I've been looking at Domino's. I've been looking at Pizza Hut. I've been looking at Papa John's. I look at those. They don't really have anything. They don't. You know, Pizza Hut, what they would do this time of year, they call it the treats box. It's 2 medium pizzas and like a side and like a dessert. Wow. It's the normal food. There's nothing special about it. I'm trying to find interesting new stuff to try on for DSP Tries It, but I have to get what's available, right? If I can find more interesting, unique stuff, I would like to do it. I've never done a salad besides like twice ever. So doing a salad is brand new, except for the last time I did it, I had liquid shits for like a week. So hopefully it doesn't destroy me this time. Because you know what, are you aware? Hold on a second. Are you aware what's Friday night? Is politics. Imagine if I eat that Wendy's food and I have an insane anal evacuation disaster while I'm trying to do the politics show. Yeah. So I don't know how it's gonna go. I hope, yeah. I might have to get a cork or a plug for my butthole on Friday night so I can do the show. Okay, anyway. So, all right. So first topic down. All right, that's good. It looks like we're going to do the new Wendy's menu of the mushroom burger, the salted caramel frosty, and the taco salad. Okay, we'll do all three on Friday. That's number one. Number two, I really need people's opinions right now because I'm on the fence of what the next playthrough should be that we start over on DSP Throwback. It either could be Resident Evil 5 or Assassin's Creed 2. Both of those playthroughs are incredibly old playthroughs of mine. No one's really talked or watched them in a while, but people love them. They're some of my classic playthroughs, right? And I'd like to remaster them for a new audience over on DSP Throwback, but I don't know which one I should do. Is it too late for horror? If I do Resident Evil 5, is it not going to work because, we're now heading into Christmas time, right? I don't know. You guys let me know. I need your opinions because by the end of today, I need to make the decision and start sending the files to my editors. I didn't do anything yet because I still was undecided, and now I need to finally make the decision, okay? Okay. This leads me to my next topic, actually. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, we may have a schedule change today. Okay? You might say, well, what do you mean? Why would you have a schedule change? I ordered my new streaming and gaming, I ordered my new streaming and capture PC. It is out for delivery, being delivered in late afternoon to early evening tonight. Okay? Now, when I say that, what I mean is, I ordered it off Amazon, and yes, it is the PC that we were looking at. I didn't go for another one. I kept looking for others, and I couldn't find a better deal. I just couldn't. I was looking all over the place. I looked at the stuff that's going to go on sale at Target and Walmart and everything. The only option I would have had would have been to wait till wait till Cyber Monday. And on Cyber Monday, there might have been a better deal. But I would much rather get what I see now that looks good rather than wait for Cyber Monday and have remorse that I missed out on the deal now. All right? So, yes, I purchased a new capture and streaming PC. All right? It's the same one that we were looking at. And it is en route to my home. According to Amazon, it is going to arrive between 3:30 to 7:30 p.m. my time. Now, as you know, my first stream goes until around 4 p.m. Then I go on a break to upload and have dinner with my wife. I come back now around 6:15 p.m. to start my late stream, and my late stream runs around 6:30 till around roughly 9 p.m. Okay? So, we have a PC arriving, and by the way, when it arrives, I have to be available to sign for it because it's a high dollar item. I have to sign for it at the door, or they won't leave it. All right, so I have to be on the lookout for this all day. I'll be refreshing and checking to see if it's actually coming in the afternoon or is it coming in the evening and when is it coming. All right. So, in regards to this, it's coming, and obviously I know what's going to happen. People want to see it, right? You want to see me show it off on stream. You want to have me test it, do the setup, just like I did with my current gaming PC, right? And the truth is I could do that. My setup's ready to go. I'll just plug it in over there, and we could do the initial setup. We could actually get not only Windows working, we can install some apps and things, test the RGB lighting. In addition, I have the new capture card and the additional SSD to install, and I could do that too. So basically, when this thing shows up, I could do all the initial setup. The only thing I can't do is basically get it working to stream. Because to do that, I need to get OBS and then basically do this migration of files from the old PC to the new PC, get them all on there. Then I need to do the migration of OBS settings from my current PC to the new one. And that stuff's going to take time. Okay? So FYI, when it shows up, this could be cool. We could actually do a whole bunch of stuff there. Or it may not show up till 7:30, 8 p.m., in which case there's like no time for anything, right? So it really depends on when it shows up. If it shows up on the earlier side, then my whole late stream can be the live showcase of me showing off the PC here to show it to you on camera, setting it up, getting the RGB working, and I can rotate the camera around to show you and everything. Initial setup, all of that, like we did with the other PC. It could be a night stream of just getting the PC set up. And that would make that Street Fighter 6 gets bumped. Okay? Now listen, that's okay. If Street Fighter 6 gets bumped, it's not the end of the world. Street Fighter 6 could always come back whenever, or we could do it later in the week or whatever, right? It's not a big deal. So I'm down for that if that's what you guys want. All right? So let's see what happens, because really it depends on when it shows up. And it's saying it's going to arrive between 3:30 to 7:30 p.m. It's already out for delivery, but of course, apparently they have a lot of other things being delivered today. The thing is, I really need to be on top of this, because if I'm not, I won't be available to sign for it. I have to sign for it. If I don't, they won't deliver it because it's a high dollar item. So I have to keep checking all day to see, when are they delivering it and stuff like that. So I'll check periodically, maybe like once an hour. I'll open there again. I'll see, hey, where is it? Is it coming early? Is it coming late? What's going to happen? So, excuse me. So this should be fun and interesting to get initial setup. The only thing is I have no idea, when I'm going to actually have time to sit down and do the migration. The setup is one thing, just getting it up and running and working. But the migration, that's the work. Because not only do I have to migrate all the files over, but then I have to get OBS working with all the scenes and everything. And I guarantee you there's going to be conflicts, there's going to be issues. Then, of course, I want to get new stuff working. I have a stream deck that I want to set up with this thing. That would be awesome to have different scenes, sound effects, animations playing. That would be pretty awesome. Okay, so I'm excited. Hope that you guys are. People are asking, what is the PC? I showed it yesterday. Hold on. I'll show you. It was this one? No. My history is stupid. This one? This is it. This is what I got right here. Okay, I'll show you. Here we are. This is what I got. Let me try not to block the text. There you go. So, Ryzen 7. It's got the 4070 Super graphics card. And 32 gigs of RAM. 750 watt gold PSU, so a good PSU. The thing is, I think the motherboard is one of the shorter ones, but I did check, and yes, I will be able to fit my capture card in there along with the graphics card. It's going to be right next to each other, and some people are like, oh, that's not optimum airflow. Oh, it's not optimum airflow. It's not going to be optimum airflow. All right? It's not. It's not. But for the price, this is the best I could do. Because the thing is, people kept saying, oh, well, you could do better with this and this. And then they would show it to me like, yeah, that's $2,000 plus tax. So it's another $700, $800 I don't have. I wanted to spend around $1,500. I ended up spending $1,550 something plus tax. So around $1,700. So this should be good. This graphics card should allow me to do 2 different encodings at once. One stream quality for Kick, one stream quality for YouTube. Okay, so it should do 2 at once. That's what I want to do. And then the processor should be able to handle the stream quality for the local recordings, maybe. Or maybe I could do it differently. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I'm going to split it up. So the processor's doing 1 encoding, and then the graphics card's basically trying to do like 2. Okay? So we'll see what happens. All right? Hopefully it's good. And it comes today. And like I said, we'll get it set up initially. And then we'll maybe do some installations. Maybe I'll install the hard drive and I'll install the capture card. And we'll do all that. Depends on when it shows up. If it shows up in time to do that today, great. If not, then maybe we'll reschedule some stuff tomorrow to do it instead. Okay? Cool. All right. So that's en route. And I'll have updates over the day. Like I said, I'll probably check it once an hour to see where exactly it is en route to my home. All right? Cool. All right. Do I get a notification when it's a certain number of stops away? No. That's why I have to keep checking my app. I have to keep checking the app to see where it's at and what's going on with it. So, okay. Close this Burger King tab. All right. So, folks, first of all, by the way, we still only have one contribution. Again, it would be great to be getting some other kinds of contributions in here. If you could, I would appreciate that. Okay? All right. Okay. So what are we doing today? Schedule. Let's talk about the schedule. First stream is the return of Dragon Age the Veilguard, a game that I think has been fine. It hasn't been bad. It hasn't been great. It's okay. The best part of the game so far for me is the graphics, by far. The graphics are what I'm liking the most. The visuals are impressive. Outside of that, the combat is all right. I assume the combat will get better once I hit level 20 and I unlock all the necromantic stuff that I've been trying to do, but they really limit it. You don't get it till level 20. But outside of that, oh, this is dumb. Yeah. So, sorry, I got a text. I've been getting texts recently from a lot of companies that are like, oh, if you were affected by the bad weather this week and the power outages, don't worry, we got your back and blah, blah, blah. You know, I wasn't affected so bad. It was only 12 hours. Some people had like no power for like a whole week. And because of that, like for example, a lot of cell phone companies are reaching out to their customers and they're like, oh, we're going to go ahead and if you went over on your data limit this week, we're just going to not charge you for it. Because we understand that most people didn't have Wi-Fi to use to do anything because the power was out. That's good on them. I mean, they're insanely rich companies. I'm happy that they're doing something nice for the consumer. I've been getting texts like that from various companies all week, and I just got one now. So, okay. Anyway, so today is the return of Dragon Age Veilguard. The best thing about the game is the graphics, right? Outside of that, the combat's all right, and I assume the combat will get better in time. The story is kind of weak, but I am hoping that it will be good in the long run. All right, we'll have to see. I'm also curious that if people will show up and watch and support the playthrough. I don't know. At this point, whenever I play Dragon Age Veilguard, I actually have the lowest attendance of anything I'm doing. Take a look at the podcast. Right now, we have 250 people on YouTube, and we have like 20 people on Kick. And, you know, this is a loaded podcast, but just because I'm playing Dragon Age, a lot of people are probably like, I'm not too interested in that. I'll come back later, right? So hopefully we will get people here, because I told you, I'm nervous if the streak is going to end, right? I think it would be on a Veilguard stream. That's what I said last week, too. I outright said if the streak ends, it's going to be on a Veilguard stream, because the Veilguard streams aren't bringing in a lot of people. I hope not. I really hope that, sadly, the streak doesn't end today because of Veilguard. If it does, that sucks, but it is what it is. You know, at least I got the PC ordered. I got everything. I got all my equipment en route or already here, and I'm not doing any more big spending for a while now. Like, that's it. Like, I've spent a lot of money in the last few months on, you know, upgrades to the setup and everything. Now, new PC arriving. This is the big one. After this, I am calming down with spending money for a while. I'm just going to, like, lay low and try to save some money now. Save up some money. So that way, if something goes wrong or something comes up, I have money for it, you know? So, good stuff. And hopefully Veilguard goes well today. I am going to do a major stream of it. However, I do have to be available for when the PC gets delivered. So that's the thing. You know, I have to keep my eye on this about if it gets an update for when it's actually showing up or whatever, to know that when I have to be available to sign for it. So I'll be checking this all afternoon to see if when the PC's coming. Okay, now, tonight on the late stream, it was supposed to be Street Fighter 6 E-Honda, but that's only going to happen if the PC doesn't show up. Like, let's say it's 6:15 and the PC's not here, then we're going to play Street Fighter. And I just got to pay attention for when the PC arrives. I may be in the middle of a match and I have to just leave to go sign for the PC and take the loss. There's nothing I can do about it. Okay? But yeah, and then when the PC shows up, depending on when it shows up, will determine if we do anything tonight. If it shows up late, what if the PC shows up at like 7:30? We're not going to have enough time to do a PC setup. So maybe what we'll do then, instead, we'll do a stream tomorrow where we do it. You know, we show it off, hook it up, initial setup, and all of that. All right? So it really depends. If it shows up on the earlier side, then the entire late night stream tonight will be the setup then. Okay? So let's see what happens when it shows up or not, okay? Maybe it'll show up during the break, in which case we'll just do the whole night stream of showing off the PC and doing the setup, okay? Tomorrow, it's a continuation of Stalker 2 again. So this way there'll be 2 Stalker 2 streams this week. Played it yesterday, and it was fine. I'm getting more of an idea of what it is. Essentially, it's kind of like Metro meets Fallout, but hardcore mode where you need to eat and drink to maintain rather than just play it normally. There's no VATS, and the gunplay is fun, but also very challenging because the game throws a ton of enemies at you at once. Like the end of the stream yesterday, no lie, I was trying to escape a building, and there was like 30 dudes. And they're all fully, you know, armed to the teeth, and you just got you and your limited ammo, and you're like, oh shit, how do I do this? It was pretty challenging to get out of there, for sure. So I think that's what the game is going to be moving forward, and that's okay. I need to get used to that. But the worst part by far about Stalker 2 is the plot. I don't understand what it is. Like, since the game started, it was like, we got to go find this guy. Okay, I'll go find him. Oh, you found him? All right, well, now we got to find this guy. All right, let's find this guy who owes everyone money. All right, let's find that guy. Okay, now this guy's missing. Go find him. Wait, what? Like, wait, what the fuck? The whole game is just finding people who aren't in town? That's what it's been. And I played 4.5 hours, and every single mission has been go find this guy. Will there ever be anything else to do in the game? Because like what people were saying, and I agree with them, is that if the game focused on, for example, why are there mutant creatures? What are the anomalies? What's the origins? Can we stop it? Can we fix it? Can we stop this horrible thing that's happening that's mutating the world? You know, what caused it, etc. Instead, it's, let's go find some guy. He's out there and he stole a screwdriver. Go get him. Well, that's the stupidest, boring plot I've ever heard. You know, that's like saying, hey, it's The Walking Dead. But we have to find a wrench. So go out and find a wrench. That's your mission. But it's The Walking Dead. Can we do something interesting with zombies? No, go get the fucking wrench and shut up. Right? So, we'll see as we continue on with the game. A lot of people are saying Stalker 2, they really like it, and it's one of their picks for Game of the Year. Maybe it gets better further in, so let's keep playing. Let's do another major stream of it tomorrow, okay? And tomorrow night, the late stream will be Bloodborne. Continuing on, we're actually in a really good part right now, because we're going to be doing Canehurst Castle, or the Nightmare. Remember the whole Nightmare world? We could do one or the other. We just unlocked Canehurst, so maybe we'll do that. But we could also do the Nightmare. Like, we have a choice of what we want to do before we continue on with the main game, which would be fighting Rom the Spider as the next major boss in the story. So, good stuff coming up. Excited for that. Of course, Thursday is Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving. So we'll be doing a very special Level 1 podcast where I'll be telling you all about what I'm thankful for this year. And then we'll be doing a chill stream of Microsoft Flight Simulator, where we'll be flying all over the world and people will be able to choose where we go, depending on who is, you know, the top contributor at the time. Last night, I should say, it went really well, except the game kept crashing. It was very frustrating. Like, we were flying, and then all of a sudden the whole game would crap out. Then we got to reload it again. It takes a while to load. One time, it shut my whole PC down, and that's the second time that's happened playing the game, where it just craps my whole PC out, and we got to start the whole friggin' thing over. I'm like, dang. So hopefully that doesn't continue. But yeah, that's going to be Thursday. And then Friday, the daytime stream will be Black Ops 6. Likely I'm going to be doing more of the ranked mode. I actually really liked doing the ranked mode the other night. It was very fun. Doing 4v4 with limited spawns was much better than the full team's unlimited spawns, constant spawn camping and stupid shit. I actually was having a great time with the rank, so I want to do more of it. And then, like I said, Friday night politics, it is DS Politics. And I've already gotten about maybe 3 or 4 stories ready for the show, but I want to get 1 or 2 more. And then this morning, I saw all these new stories happening. I was like, ooh, this is good. So, good stuff there. And by the way, reminder, if you want to be a part of DS Politics, if you are a submissions tier member on my DSP Reacts channel, you could do that. You can actually submit stories, videos, articles, subject matter for me to review and talk about on the show. And right now, I think 4 different people have already submitted. Keep in mind that the show's on Friday. We still have several days. So if you are a submissions tier member, please submit. It's on a community post over on the DSP Reacts channel. That helped me a lot last week, and already I got a couple stories that I'll be talking about on this week's show from it. So please keep submitting stuff, okay? All right. Now, the final thing, as I said, if we continue with the streak and we hit 89, On Friday, I will be ordering the whole new Wendy's menu of the mushroom burger, the salted caramel frosty, and the taco salad for a stacked DSP Tries It episode. All right, so please contribute early and often. Right now, we're only at $16 of contributions, and I've been streaming for 45 minutes, and no one else has contributed besides our tipper. That's not a good sign. Like I said, I got a bad feeling about Veilguard. I really do. Every time I play this. All right. So, folks, here's the deal. We have a series of stories to cover today, news stories about gaming. So I'd like to go through all three of them. The first one is good news, and you rarely get good news in this day and age, but so I'd like to definitely, talk about this story. You may have heard of this small-time rinky-dink development company called Larian Studios. Yeah, you may remember that they actually made a game called Baldur's Gate 3. Well, they lost money in 2022 because they weren't putting out any new games. Remember, their previous game was, what was it? Divinity 2? Well, in 2023, of course, they put out Baldur's Gate 3 and then made insano profit. It's now official. They made $260 million of profit off of Baldur's Gate 3, which is pretty insane for any one particular video game, especially because they were not considered a ginormous AAA company. They were not considered a company that was going to make waves, but the game became such a smash hit, right? That they made insane amounts of money on it, and now the question is, what's next? Now, here's the thing, though. They've already stated they are not doing expansions. They are not doing any DLC. And, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't hear, they're done with Baldur's Gate. Larian has outright stated they're not making Baldur's Gate 4. They're not, if there is one, it's going to be another company that does it. They're moving on to another project. So, this is kind of like bittersweet. It's good to hear that a company that put insane amounts of dedication and effort into their game became a smash hit. It wasn't because they were some giant AAA studio. It's because they put hard work into it. I like hearing those success stories. I do. And I'm good on them for being as successful as they were, right? However, it sucks because a lot of people, I feel, are going to want more Baldur's Gate now because they made it so popular. How many people, that was the first Baldur's Gate game they ever played? How many people, that was the first major game ever in the D&D universe they ever played? How many people would like to play another game like that? Guess what? You're not getting one. Basically, you got the best game possible, and now you can never get another one because they're not making one. If another studio makes it, there's absolutely no guarantee that it's going to be as good as this one turned out because it's another dev team making it. Now, you might say, well, what will Larian be making? Probably, you would think, Divinity 3, but I didn't really like Divinity 2, right? I didn't. I thought that it was kind of slow-paced and boring. I put a lot of time into it and had to drop it because people didn't care about it. After like 40, 60 hours, people were like, all right, that's enough. You're not even halfway through and it's boring and, stop playing this. And I think what's going to happen, and here's what I'm nervous about, right? Essentially, they had a smash hit on their hands, but everyone's going to be looking for Baldur's Gate 4. And if there is no Baldur's Gate 4 and their next game is a different game, it may not sell. A lot of these games get popular on name recognition alone. Like, everyone knows Baldur's Gate 3. How many people know Larian Studios? A lot of people probably don't. Do you think that most people who bought Baldur's Gate 3 know that one of the leads of the studio wore a suit of armor to the Game Awards? Do you think they care? No, they just bought the game because they heard it was good, they played it, and they liked it. So, unless you're fully immersed in the world of game news and shit, you probably have no clue about this. So, if they pump out a new game that's not Baldur's Gate 4, like, let's say it's Divinity 3, or let's say it's something completely new. What if they make a whole new IP? It's a gamble. I don't know. And the thing is, they made so much money, they're going to be investing all of their time and efforts, right, into this new game universe. And I don't know how it's going to go. I'm a little nervous. I hope it goes well. I really do. I hope we don't get another Cyberpunk situation. All right? You remember what happened? Witcher 3, you had CD Projekt Red, knock it out of the park, best-in-class style RPG. Everyone agreed, like, amazing game. sold like hotcakes. So what's their next project? Cyberpunk. So it has nothing to do with Witcher 3. So people give it the benefit of the doubt. They run out there, they pre-order the shit out of it, and the game comes out, and it is a broken mess. And it took years for them to fix it. It was, you know, eventually they recovered, but I don't want Larian to become the next CD Projekt Red. I hope that whatever they do next not only gets the popularity, but lives up to the height without the Baldur's Gate IP. Okay? Okay. So anyway, like I said, that was actually good news. Listen, whenever you get a story of, hey, company works hard without actual resources that other companies have, busts their ass, actually gets a level of success, and, you know, and the people like them, that's great. Oh, by the way, they made a ton of money. Good. They're the kind of company that deserves a lot of money. You know, like that's the kind of company I want to hear is making waves with sales. I'd much rather hear Larian Studios made $260 million on Baldur's Gate 3 than Activision Blizzard made $260 million on Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? I want the little guy to succeed because they work hard. Okay. Moving on. This is an interesting story, everybody. The rumor mill is abuzz. Sony is supposedly making a handheld standalone PlayStation. Now, keep in mind, this is not it. This is the PlayStation Portal, which you use to play your PS5 remotely without a TV. But the rumor is Sony has looked at Nintendo and Nintendo's monstrous success with the Switch, a handheld console that basically is a home console, but also is portable, right? They want to jump on that market. They feel like there's room. I'll be honest with you. There really is no portable gaming market anymore. There's two things. There's a phone that you play games on, and those games are certainly not equivalent to what you would get on a console or PC, but they are popular and they make insane amounts of money, okay? So you got your phone games, and then you've got dedicated PC console gaming. Nintendo is somewhere in the middle because arguably Nintendo has the market, but the market they have is first party limited, meaning no one is buying a Switch to go play a third party game on it. You know what I'm saying? No one bought a Switch to go play Call of Duty. No one bought a Switch to go play, you know, Assassin's Creed. People are buying Switches to play all the first party Nintendo titles, and those are the ones that sell. So I think what Sony is seeing is that there is a giant opportunity to create a handheld console that will play Sony exclusives and third-party games in the portable arena again. Listen, third-party games in the portable arena were ginormous business in the 90s and 2000s for those who don't remember. You know, Game Boy and then PSP sold crazy, and there was tons of games that got ported and everything for sure. And then all of a sudden, you know, it looked like Nintendo just dominated the market with the DS and the 3DS, and everyone just gave up. I mean, yes, Sony did try with the PS Vita, and the PS Vita was a monstrous flop. It didn't sell. No one wanted it. And I think mostly that was because the PS Vita was not a PlayStation portable. It didn't have the same games that you could play on PS3 or PS4. What it had were watered down versions. Like there was an Uncharted game on there, but it didn't play as well or look as good as regular Uncharted. It kind of looked like a half-C version of like Uncharted 1. So what they needed was a true portable version of Sony games, and they didn't have that. What they had were these kind of like cheap knockoff versions of Sony games, and I think that's why it didn't really succeed. Plus, the price tag was incredibly expensive at the time. So, in regards to this, here's the thing. A lot of people are saying, do you think that this could be successful? Could Sony make a whole standalone portable gaming device that would actually play high-end games, and would it be successful? The way I see it is thus. Can it work? Yes. There is room in the market. There's only one portable console right now, and it's the Switch. This does not play the same games as consoles or PC, so yeah, it's the Switch. Now you might say, well, what about the Steam Deck and stuff? No, you're right. The Steam Deck exists. What's the other one? The ROG Ally has a portable too. But those are more for PC gaming, correct? We really don't have one definitive portable device like we used to. The Switch is not it. The Switch is too limited with its library of games and doesn't play the vast majority of games that are popular outside of Nintendo first-party titles. So there is room. However, here's the problem, in my opinion. Sony has never been able to make a portable console that's price reasonable. The PSP, when it first released, was very expensive. It was around almost the same price as like a PS3. The PS Vita was almost the same price as the PS4. So who's going to go spend anywhere between $400 to $600 for a portable device that you might, you're taking it with you. It's going to wear out. You could drop it. You could break it. It's too expensive. Listen, people will spend $600 for a home console that sits on their entertainment center. People probably aren't going to spend $600 on a portable device that at any moment you could drop on the ground. You're on the subway, you spill it. Oops, I put coffee on it because, I was at my office, I was playing it, and now you're out $600, right? Like, I think that's the problem. They have to find the perfect balance of good games, good graphics, but a price tag that's reasonable. The PS Vita was incredibly expensive at launch. Do you remember? I got it. This was back in the day, early on when I was a YouTuber, and I told everyone, hey, I'm going to buy like every single new piece of tech. And I did. I bought the Vita. I bought the PS Move. I bought all the peripherals and accessories, all that motion control era. The Vita had like no good games. It had, like I said, the bootleg Uncharted. It had Gravity Rush, which was, I think, it wasn't exclusive to the Vita, was it? It might have been. I think at first Gravity Rush was exclusive to the Vita, but then they ported it because people didn't buy the Vita, so they ported it to everything else, if I remember correctly. Like, I just remember it was underwhelming. There just wasn't a lot of games for it that were like groundbreaking or that people wanted to play. Oh, there was a Killzone. I played the Killzone game at launch too. But these all been too expensive. PSP was very expensive at launch, but then over the time that it was out, they kept lowering the price before it became more reasonable. A lot more people bought it. And then they had a lower model that was actually like more portable and was cheaper. So my concern is that Sony's going to do this again. The same thing they always do. They get overexcited because they see an opportunity, but then they're not in touch with what their customers want. And then they try to sell you something you don't want or can't afford. Like, for example, if they come out with a PS Portable, so not this, because it's the PS Portal. What if they call it the new PlayStation Portable, right? Or they call it, I don't know, the PlayStation Satellite or something weird like that. Because now they're liking their idea of like space and shit like that, right? Astrobot, right? Let's say they call it the PlayStation Satellite, right? If they launch it and it's $299 or $399 and it runs amazing games like PS4 plus quality, I think it will be successful. If they launch the thing and it's $699, they might as well not launch it. They might as well just fucking not even bother. No one's going to drop that kind of money on a portable. It's too expensive. It's not reliable. You're not going to want to drop it and then say, fuck, I'm out $700, right? So I guess we'll see what happens. They are saying it's several years out, that what they're talking about is like maybe end of life cycle of PS5. Take the tech of the PS5 and somehow make it into a portable while they're kind of working on PS6. So, interesting story. We haven't seen a competitor in the realm of the portable gaming, in a while, right? It's been Nintendo dominant on consoles for a very long time. And now, like I said, it's been like Steam Deck, or this ROG Ally thing, or whatever it's called. Those have been more dominant, but we haven't had like a definitive competition. With Sony kind of getting back into it, it could be an interesting twist. We'll have to see. Okay. Lastly, our last news story for today is breaking news. It happened yesterday afternoon. It's very sad news, in my opinion. But I was honestly wondering what the hell was going on with this story, because basically there's a group of people who got together to make a new game studio. It's a tried and true group that have made great games before, but we haven't heard from them in so many years. You're wondering what happened. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is the news story. You might be very saddened by this news if you haven't heard it yet. I actually was pretty saddened when I heard this. So, Casey Hudson was one of the leads, if not the lead, of the original Mass Effect trilogy. Ended up leaving BioWare after all these misdirections and things by EA, who owns BioWare, to make his own company called Humanoid Origin, and took a lot of big-time game devs with him. Okay? But ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we got some bad news. Humanoid Origin, the studio founded in June 2021 by Mass Effect trilogy director Casey Hudson, announced in March 2022 it was working on a multi-platform AAA game focused on character-driven narrative in an all-new science fiction universe. Well, that sounds great. It sounds like they're actually making a new Mass Effect, right? Now, it's not Mass Effect. This would be the equivalent of what happened when the makers of Dead Space, not left, but were fired, essentially. Visceral Studios, right? And then they made their own studio and tried to make another game of similar stature in the Callisto Protocol. Sadly, the Callisto Protocol flopped huge. So this is kind of the same deal. So the original maker, the guy who directed the original Mass Effect trilogy, said he wants to make another sci-fi game, and BioWare isn't doing it, so he's going to go do it himself. He makes his own studio, and here's the thing. You must have seen the writing on the wall, no? I did. I mean, the studio opened in 2021. In 2022, they announced that they were making a game. Dude, it's been almost 3 years, and you didn't hear anything. You've seen no gameplay, no concepts, not even an announcement in any game media event. Something's up, right? When you're working for 3 years on a game and you have nothing to show for it, there's a big problem, okay? So, earlier today, we informed our staff that Humanoid Origin will be shutting down, the post reads. Despite efforts to shield the studio from broader challenges in the industry, an unexpected shortfall of funding left us unable to sustain operations. We're heartbroken we will not be able to bring our new science fiction universe to completion. Get this ad out of here. Our main concern at this time, however, is for our team. We're committed to supporting them in their transition to new employment. Humanoid Origin was based in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And the problem, apparently, an unexpected shortfall of funding left us unable to sustain operations. Now, this confuses me. Okay? It does. This very much confuses me. A shortfall of funding. An unexpected shortfall of funding. How could it have been unexpected? Right? You've been working on a game for essentially almost 3 years. Your studio has existed for almost 4. You don't have a thing to show for it. At all. You don't have a lick of anything. How are you going to get more investment funds from anyone, any investor, any producer? Who's going to give you more money when you have nothing to show? Now, here's the thing. If this industry were currently in a big boom, and if everything was going well, then maybe someone might be willing to throw more money at them. But take a look at what's happened this year. We had a lot of games that were promised to be great and big, and they all flopped, or they were mediocre and didn't sell as much as they wanted. The guns of the industry didn't really have big games this year, right? Can you name, off the top of your head, can you name 5 blockbuster games from big studios this year? I can maybe think of 1 or 2, right? I can't think of 5. It was not that year, you know what I mean? Xbox outright said the industry's in a slump, which I don't believe. Sony really didn't come out with much besides Astrobot, right? They haven't really had a hit on their hands. Some of the biggest games have been from non-big game studios, like, for example, Black Myth Wukong, sold like hotcakes. Huge win for the Chinese company, and now they're going to expand and make way more games, which is good for them, right? But, yeah, this was not a big year of big stories and sales wins for games. So what ends up happening is when that happens in the industry in general, investors scale back. They're going to do less investing. They're going to take less chances. Until they start seeing things pick up again, they're not going to want to throw money at stuff. And when you got to, listen, at first, Humanoid Origin sounds like a great idea to me. It sounds like a company of tried and true developers, the guy who directed the original Mass Effect trilogy, which was a hit, even though you might argue, oh, Mass Effect 3's endings all sucked. You're right, but still, the trilogy was incredibly popular, and everyone was sad when BioWare was put to make Anthem instead of more Mass Effect, right? So, to see them kind of get redirected back, the director and his new team, and they're working hard on a new game, this is great. Throw money at them. So they did. People threw money at them at first. But in this day and age, you have to have some results. You can't expect that you're going to have 3 years to mess around and not have a single proof of concept. Like, where's the proof of concept that this game's going to be good? Did they even make a workable demo? Did they have a trailer? Did they have anything? Where is it? No one's going to give you more money if you work for 3 years and have nothing to show. And that's sad, because I feel like this could have been great. We need competition. I feel like that's a major problem right now, is there really is no major competition anymore when it comes to the big franchises and big games. Like, you might say, well, there's no Mass Effect right now. Someone else is going to take up the reins. Who? Mass Effect Andromeda came out a long time ago. has there been a single sci-fi style game that has actually taken up the reins that we're going to take over sci-fi now because Mass Effect dropped the ball? Guess what BioWare just put out? Dragon Age the Veilguard, which isn't doing well. Sales-wise, way, way down from any previous game or expectations. It is not selling well. So, that's what I mean. Like, this is just a situation where they could have been big shit. So what happened? I think this is going to be one of those situations where there's going to be a documentary in like, or or a book about it, where someone's going to get the behind the scenes information about what happened internally. Because it sounds to me like something happened bad. How do you work for 3 years and have nothing? That just, even if you work for 3 years and you have something that's not good, it's better than zero. And they have zero, nothing to show anyone. Why would you think an investor would give you more money, right? So it is disappointing. I was excited for this. When I heard, Andromeda flopped and no one else was really making a sci-fi game, I got excited to hear that the director of the original trilogy was going to lead a whole studio and make another game that may actually, be the big sci-fi thing. But I just don't know. It's unfortunate. It's sad. And now I wonder what's going to happen because we really don't have anything. Sci-fi is pretty dead at this point, right? When you think about it, Starfield flopped. That was supposed to be the big sci-fi thing. That flopped. And now there's no competitor to Mass Effect. Now, FYI, BioWare is working on the next Mass Effect. But BioWare also just put out a game that's underwhelming and not selling in Veilguard. So what makes you think that the new Mass Effect's going to be good? Okay. All right. So, folks, those are the news stories for today. That's what I wanted to cover for you. So what are the takeaways from today's podcast so far? We have a new goal. Instead of the Burger King trio of Whoppers, which isn't available through delivery apps, I'm going to be doing the whole new Wendy's menu, including the mushroom bacon cheeseburger, salted caramel frosty, and the return of the taco salad that gave me the shits over a decade ago. We're going to be doing that on Friday instead, as long as we continue with the goals. However, I don't know if we're going to continue with the goals because here we are, over an hour into the podcast, and we've only had one contribution. So it's making me very nervous that I think perhaps today might be the end of the streak, which is really going to suck just because I'm playing Veilguard. My new PC is en route. I have to keep checking on it. Let me check on it right now. They updated it, and now they're claiming it's not coming until between 4:30 to 7:30. Originally, it said 3:30 to 7:30. So now they've updated the time. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to come earlier. I have to keep looking. But that means that the Veilguard stream probably will be without a hitch. But then they'll probably end up arriving either during my dinner time or tonight during the late stream, the Street Fighter stream. Okay? So I guess we'll have to see what happens and when exactly it's coming. But they gave it an update, supposedly. Okay? Okay. Jasper Kitty, what is it? Why are you staring at me? Jasper, what are you doing down there? Why are you staring at me today? What's going on? He's just staring at me. I don't know why. Okay. So we that's what we wanted to talk about. I have free time. So let's do some Q&A. You guys please tag me in the chat. Let's do a little bit of back and forth. I'll do shout outs for contributions as they come in. And let's see what you guys want to discuss today. Shall we? I remember the last time I had a Mountain Dew. Ooh, that's an interesting question. A Mountain Dew. AJ Dandy asked that, by the way. I don't think it was this year. I can't. I know I haven't bought a Mountain Dew. Like, I haven't got it as a fountain soda. Like, the last time I drank a Mountain Dew might have been a can. I honestly don't know. It might have actually been, like, no exaggeration, it might have been Mountain Dew, that one that I had in the can ages ago that I said tasted like Mega Man's hydraulic fluid or Bowser's Piss. Remember that? That might be the last Mountain Dew I actually had. Because I don't really drink soda. So, yeah, I think so. Remember, if you want to talk to me, please tag me. I did happen to see Papa Zomberu over on Kick is asking. He didn't tag me. Please tag me. Am I going to do Stalker multiplayer with people from chat when it's out? I had no idea Stalker is going to have multiplayer. I didn't even know. What is it going to be? Is it competitive? Is it co-op RPG style? I don't know, because I don't even know what it is. I never even knew that it was going to exist. It's a good point. Darziak says, keep in mind that's 3 BioWare fails in a row. First Mass Effect Andromeda, then Anthem, and now Veilguard. All 3 projects back-to-back have been failures for them. Sheesh. The Steam sale starts tomorrow, says Stuart. Does it? Well, you guys let me know if you see any good deals on the Steam sale that I should jump on. Perhaps games for the future, right? Maybe I'll get Balatro. See. It's already like 15 bucks. Favorite drinking games? I don't play drinking games, Big Papa Phil. Never have. What's my favorite flavor of sparkling water? Oh, you mean like the ones that I get? I don't really have a favorite. I drink all kinds. I do wild cherry, cherry limeade, tangerine lime, key lime, Concord grape. Those are the 5 that I drink the most of. And then there's others that we get like mango pineapple. What's the other one? There's another one too that we sometimes get. But those are the flavors that I drink most often. Funny high school or college memories? No, I've completely wiped my mind of high school and college memories to make room for new memories. I'm not going to tell a story and reminisce about it on the podcast today. I'd rather just do open Q&A. Am I interested in going back to the theaters? Not particularly. Too expensive. And just to go there with a bunch of fucking people who don't respect you and instead just want to make noise and be stupid. I'd rather watch a movie at home, honestly. Did I see Steam's updating their policy on season passes for more transparency? No, I did not. And again, I've literally never purchased a season pass through Steam, so I don't know what would change. Of the 23 flavors in Dr. Pepper, which is your favorite? Cherry. What's the largest animal I think I could kill unarmed? I don't want to think about that because I don't want to kill any animals. I'm an animal lover. I don't want to kill any animals barehanded. That's messed up. Rare Tricks with our first contribution over on Kick. Thank you, Rare Tricks. Finally, our second contribution to the stream. It is a gifted sub that went to Furries for Phil. So thank you so much, Rare Tricks. So far, that's it. 1 tip and 1 gifted membership. No super chats. No super stickers. No memberships. No gifted memberships. Wow. Let's get some support going, guys. Let's see. So, a fan of the original Gladiator. Excellent film. I'll be watching the sequel this weekend, says Big Papa Phil. Yeah, 100 years ago, I saw it and I liked it. Have I seen anything about Leslie Benzie's new game, Mind's Eye? She worked on all the GTA games before leaving Rockstar. Nope. I never even heard of Mind's Eye. What is worse, a toothache or an earache? Well, they're both really bad. Personally, I've had ear infections that were excruciating. It felt like someone was stabbing me in the ear. When it comes to toothaches, I've had some toothaches, but I have not had anything too bad. So, yeah. Let's see here. No, I will not do a second run of Kirby in the Forgotten Land, Toronto Slayer. With US politics, do you think you'll ever venture out to the ground reporting and interviewing? I don't know. If there's a reason to do so, maybe I would do it. If there's something going on here in Seattle worth doing, maybe. I don't know. Richard Masucci did a $5 super chat. Now, here's the weird thing. That YouTube account is 11 years old, but only has 8 subscribers and has no activity. So I don't think it's really Review Tech. I think it's someone impersonating Review Tech. So thank you, whoever this is, for the $5 super chat. I will put you on the leaderboard, but it's not really Review Tech considering 8 subscribers and no activity, right? Okay. Thank you. Have I been to a Kraken game yet? No, I have no desire to go to a live sports game, especially hockey. Donkey Kong Land 2 got remastered. Yeah, you're talking about the Game Boy game, right? I saw that this morning and don't think that's a big deal. Have I thought about revisiting Mario 3? Maybe. I always said that I would go back and play classics if people wanted it. Right now, obviously, I'm busy with a zillion games, but when things slow down, sure, why not? Right? YouTube bonus demo says happy Thanksgiving and keep grinding. Thank you. Lady Charisma says after 35 hours in Veilguard, I must say the game has grown on me and some of the lines are cringe. The game is enjoyable when there isn't someone in your ear saying it's bad. Again, I don't think it's bad. I haven't seen a single thing about the game that's bad. I just also haven't seen a single thing about the game that's great. So it's kind of like, for me. But maybe it'll get better the more we play. Game Boy, how are you today? Good to see you. Lucky Gremlin, good to see you. Big Papa Phil with the biggest super chat of the day in $6. It says, don't often super chat, but I want to be on the leaderboard today. Thank you to Big Papa Phil. Yeah, this is only your third super chat ever, Big Papa Phil. That'll get us to $30 of support so far today. What is a superior pie, pecan or pumpkin? I would say pecan. I love pecans. I think pumpkin's just okay. My wife loves pumpkin, so she would say pumpkin. But I prefer pecan. What's up, Soul Potato? How are you today? Welcome. Do I reckon I'll ever start emulation? I don't know. You know, I know I can do it. I know my gaming PC is pretty strong, and I'll be able to do it. But for me, like, when you say emulation, when do you emulate games? Well, when you want to play a legacy game that isn't available on, like, a current format. For example, last night it was announced, if you own Dino Crisis on any of the legacy platforms that Sony has had it available on digitally, you can now play it on PS4 and PS5 for free. I already made a post about it on social media and on my page last night. This is great news for me. I've owned Dino Crisis on PS3 forever, but I can't access it because my PS3 is busted. And the only other way to get it was to have PS Plus Premium. And I'm not going to pay for that. So now I have it on my PS5. I can play it whenever I want. So that's good on Sony for adding legacy titles to be compatible with modern hardware, right? If ever there was a classic game that there was absolutely no way to play on a modern method, then yeah, I would consider emulation. I'm not really aware of that right now, that it's something that we're desiring. Like, what classic game have I not played that everyone's craving to see me play and I've never done? Most of the time, people want to see me play modern stuff. It's very rare when there's actually desire for me to play something retro these days, you know? Well, thank you, Furries, for Phil saying they've been a fan since Heavy Rain. I'm glad that you enjoy everything. Odin, how you doing? Says, I haven't seen you since War for Cybertron. What's new? Everything is new. Everything is new. A whole new world for me, really. People like me again for the first time in a long time. For a while, I was the whipping boy of the internet. Even though I still have detractors, no one really gives them attention besides morons. Like, actual, like, 1,000 idiots on the internet just circle jerk each other. But outside of that, people actually like me again. They talk about me in a good light. My content is, you know, better than ever in my opinion. I'm doing variety content. I'm doing a podcast every morning. I'm doing lots of gameplay. I'm doing a political show now. Doing all kinds of stuff. My setup is dramatically improved. People are supporting me. It's amazing. So, life's good right now for me. Isn't it disappointing Wolfenstein has not made a comeback because Youngblood was a shower of shit? Yeah, it sucks because for a while there, Wolfenstein had good new games, remember? The new versions were great. And then that Youngblood, for whatever reason, they wanted to make a co-op game and the plot got all messed up for some odd reason. And now they've killed it, right? Like, I don't think it's coming back. I don't think there's even a desire after Youngblood. It killed it so bad. What does my final form look like? You don't want to see it. You don't want to see my final form. It's incredibly disturbing. Am I more left or right leaning, or do you see yourself more as an independent? Like I said, on certain issues, I see myself more to one side and more to the other. I don't consider myself like a firm member of either party or anything like that. I actually really did not like either presidential candidate this year. You know, I felt like you had to choose what was better for you and your family based on the two different runs that we just had. We already had a 4-year Trump presidency, then we had a 4-year Biden presidency. So you vote for whatever was better for you, right? But I talk more in depth about that on my political show. I don't like talking politics on other stuff because a lot of people like that separation. They don't want to hear me talking about politics all day in my normal content. They'd rather just go to the politics show. So I'm not going to go too much further than that. Double M, you know I've already told the story a million times. I'm not going to tell the story again about going to the recruitment, the armed forces, the army. I'm not going to tell it again because I told it a zillion times. I'm tired of telling it. And I know you've heard it. Okay, what else you guys want to talk about? We still have a little bit of time. Not a ton, but we have a little bit of time before we jump into Dragon Age today. And again, guys, it would be great to get some more support. Usually I get more viewers and attendance on the podcast. That when I play Veilguard, it dips dramatically. And I know we're going to lose a lot of this audience. So it would be great to be getting support now because when Veilguard starts, probably nothing's going to be coming in at all. And we're currently only at $30, so I don't want the streak, obviously, to end today because I'm playing Veilguard. But if it does, I can tell you this, I'm not playing it again. If the streak ends today because of Veilguard, with all the hard work we just put in to keep the streak going, I'm done with Veilguard. So let's see what happens today. I've never played grand strategy games like Stellaris or Crusader Kings, so I can't speak to them. Big Papa Phil says, do you think you'll play the Switch again for any big first-party titles coming out? I enjoyed your Zelda Link to the Past playthrough. Doesn't look like you're going back. What are you talking about? There's no big first-party titles coming out. I have no idea what you're speaking of, Big Papa Phil. If anything, they're saving all their big titles for Switch 2, right? Which is coming out next year, supposedly. So I don't know what you mean. The new Zelda game that features Zelda as a main character, that's not a big first-party title at all. That's a little rinky-dink title that you know, people talked about for like a week, and then it just disappeared. It sold decently from what I heard. I don't think it did incredibly well, but it did all right. But, nah, I looked at it, and it just didn't look that good to me, honestly. And it certainly didn't look like anything the audience cared about, you know? It's hard enough for me to play the big, high-profile, major first-party titles and have them, you know, suffer through with getting people to watch. Like, for example, Super Mario Wonder, I could barely get people to show up for, and that game was stellar. So there's no way I'm going to be able to get people to watch the small-time Nintendo titles, you know? Theodore, I'm glad to hear you were enjoying Dragon Quest XI. I loved the game. Zero chance I'm playing Civilization 7. I don't think anyone's going to care about it. Just being honest, no one comes to my content for that. No one's looking for Phil to play a sim game or a strategy game, right? There's no audience for it. Ugh. No, here's the thing. Someone just said, am I a skeptic of ghosts? I'm not a skeptic. It's just that I haven't seen anything to make me believe that they exist. Some people have said they have paranormal experiences and stuff, right? Some people claim that they caught it on camera. I've never seen anything convincing at all, nor have I spoken to a single person who could convince me that they've actually seen anything paranormal. Maybe if I did experience it for myself, I would believe it, but I haven't seen anything to that effect. nor have I been presented with any evidence, so why would I believe it, right? I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm not closed-minded to it. Just show me something that would make me think that it's real. The Red King said, I've never seen my butthole, but I know it's there. You've never been in front of a mirror and turned around? You've never seen your butthole? Really? Okay, then. How dare you bite me, Jack? How dare you fresh today? Attention. Wants attention. Why are you looking at your butthole? Well, do you want to know if it exists? Don't you want to dispel the rumors? Right? How dare you? Yes, you're absolutely right. Every single day, I drop trow, I spin around, I bend over, and I spread my cheeks, and I stare at my rectum. Absolutely. This is something I do every single day. It's a regular occurrence for me. Now clip that. Good Lord. What is my favorite in the golden era of cartoons? Simpsons, South Park, Family Guy. What's hilarious is that when you say that, you're like, oh, that's the golden era of cartoons. To me, that's not the golden era. Like, I get it. That's like adult cartoons people like. But, you know, the golden era of cartoons was much young, was old before then. You know, Looney Tunes is better than that shit. Right? Seriously. Now, listen, I like South Park. Over the years, I thought it was funny. I like The Simpsons. Family Guy's all right. I never was in love with Family Guy. I always thought it was all right. But you say, oh, it's the golden age. Not for me. For me, when I was growing up, I was watching like Looney Tunes and stuff like that. That was my favorite cartoons. You relax. So needy today, Jasper. Why are you so needy? What is it? Is it the lighting? The lighting disturbing to you? You're doing Dragon Age today? What lights do I have in the background that change color? These are the Elgato Light Pro lights, I think it's called. It's just one strip of lights. But the Elgato, that you can program them, do all different kinds of colors and settings and variations and transitions. They're pretty complex. It's only like 50 bucks. But look how good it is. Like, this is a super good set of lights, right? I think Jasper wants a treat. I don't know. He ate today. I already gave him food and stuff. Ugh. Time for a stretch. Oh, oh man. Ooh. He just wants to keep rubbing my hands with his face, his wet nose. My hand all wet. Bring back Johnny Bravo. Why? We have Johnny Bravo. His name's LTG. You can check him out whenever you want. I mean, when he's not banned from everything. Or demonetized, or both. Yep, so the PC is not updated. I'll keep checking over the course of the stream. But right now, it looks like it's going to probably come during my break or on the second stream. No, I didn't know that Eminem had his own cartoon show in the mid-2000s. Never heard of it, so I'm sure it flopped. I loved the Boondocks, the first 2 seasons. If you remember, the Boondocks started at 2 seasons, and then it ended, and then it came back with a whole new art style and everything. And I never saw the new episodes. I only saw the first 2 seasons, which I loved. I don't even know what a PED is, so I can't comment on that, Super Bonchan. Bone Killer with the $2 super chat says, did you watch the Jackie Chan animated show? I'm well aware of it existing, but I did not watch it. If I remember, that was way after my time watching cartoons. Wasn't that like late 90s or early 2000s or something? I wasn't watching cartoons then. I was, my late teens, early 20s. TMNT. Yeah, I watched the original Ninja Turtles. Not the 17 reboots that have happened, the actual original show. What are you attacking over there, Jasper? Attacking a USB cable. But it's not plugged in. Is there a chance of me finishing Wukong? No, I'm not going back to Black with Wukong ever. It's boring as dirt. It's a very, very boring game. It does not have inspired level design at all. It's too repetitive. The combat gets boring. It's just a chore. Sorry, I don't play video games to have them be a chore, right? Like, when I'm playing Bloodborne, it's difficult. For sure, right? Even now, my third run, it's difficult. And, it's not the easiest thing, and it's stressful. But the world design's outstanding, right? The enemy variety is amazing. The combat is interesting and engaging. I didn't find that with Black Myth Wukong at all. I just got bored. No, I'm not seeing the Minecraft movie. Stop that right now. Stop your foolishness right now. All right, guys, we're about to end the podcast. I want to say thanks to those who chilled. Hope you enjoyed the show. It was definitely a more laid-back show. We had a lot of topics, but it was fun. So we're going to end it, and we're going to start with Dragon Age. And, oh, hold on. Just as I said that, pop up. The Red King just did a $5 super chat. Says, here you go. Sorry for a butthole joke. Body positivity is important. That's right. Everyone should be able to stare at their own butthole and not feel embarrassed. Correct? Yeah. Thank you, Red King, for the super chat. All right. You know what's weird? So, some people, when they super chat, it'll actually say how many times they've super chat. Right? And other people, it doesn't. Like Red King, there was no number. But earlier, for Big Papa Phil, it said 3. Does it only go up to a certain number and then it stops counting? Is that what it is? Maybe it goes up to like 10 and then it just stops keeping track? Is that a spiked drink? Yes. Every drink that I've ever had on stream was spiked. It's my secret. I'm constantly drinking liquid courage, and it's amazing. Let me tell you. You guys have no clue. What he's doing back there. What is my favorite Thanksgiving dessert? I haven't had many desserts on Thanksgiving. Pumpkin pie, probably the only one. I don't think I've ever had anything but pumpkin pie as a dessert on Thanksgiving before. Yeah. All right. See you later, Super Bonchan. All right, let's end it. Let's end the show. Thank you all. Time to get set up for our Dragon Age stream. And I appreciate everyone hanging out. Tomorrow will be interesting because depending on when the PC arrives, it may completely change the schedule, right? If it comes tonight, maybe we'll do that tonight. If not, we'll do it tomorrow. But it should be a good one. And I hope that you guys will join me for the fun. Now, in the meantime, obviously, I hope that you will join me for the gameplay today. But if not, it's all good. I hope to see you nice, bright, and early on Wednesday morning for another fun edition of the Level 1 podcast. Thank you all. See you soon.